More evidence has surfaced, new and old, talking about the upcoming Banjo Kazooie plausible title. But is it a remaster? Or could it be the fabled Banjo Threeie? Let's talk about it! What's up guys, Canadian Guy A here, and back with a video that I think even a conspiracy theorist would be impressed by. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There is a lot of info we need to go over in this video. So strap in, grab a coffee, and hang on. We got a lot to cover. In yesterday's video, if you haven't seen it yet, I put a card in the top right corner. We talked about the fact that there is so much merch that has been coming out with comments from certain people that have tipped a bunch of people off that Banjo will likely be making a comeback. But how? And in what way? Will he be in Smash Brothers? Will it be a remaster? Or the fabled third installment Banjo Threeie? Could all of this hype just be for a retro replay port for the Switch? Let's try to answer all of these questions. I'm going to be honest though, I think all these questions can be answered. You just need to think and look hard enough at all the evidence. Again, strap in and let's begin. So like I said yesterday, there's a bunch of merch coming, and Exquisite Gaming replied to a comment that insinuates that there is a game coming to match the Banjo controller holder. But right as I uploaded yesterday's video, this image popped up from Tinderbox. Now to my knowledge, this is a brand name company, which I think they connect people with other brand names. I'm not 100% sure. But on here, we got a whole bunch of beloved and current franchises. We got Crash, Our Purple Boy, and many other Wait, is that a Banjo Kazooie logo? Every single game and company here are games and companies that are current in today's market. Battletoads was announced last year, and Age of Empires came out with their definitive edition in 2018. Also, ESL is an esports website. So why would the Banjo Kazooie logo pop up here when we have not had anything new from Banjo since Nuts and... The franchise at the moment has no relevancy in the modern market. So we have this company advertising Banjo, as well as a massive amount of merch incoming. But guess what? It don't stop coming. Shinobi, a previously well-known leaker, had leaked many things in the past, from God of War's Norse setting to even the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn was an open world game by Guerrilla and had giant dinosaur robots before it was even announced, and dozens of other leaks where he was right about every single one. Last year, he also teased Ridley being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before he was announced. Now, he's not an insider, but he has many friends in high places. Well, he came forward and responded to the Exquisite Gaming post by saying, quote, "Been a while since we saw Banjo in anything. Hope we are in for a smashing good time." Now, before you call me crazy, according to other members of Reset Era, the phrase "smashing good time" was used to tease Smash Brothers by the admins of the site. Thusly, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was then released. This user by the name of Rice says it all best, quote, "Smash was teased by admins last year with the same smashing good time phrase. Shinobi knows he's perceived as an insider, so I doubt he just posted that about Banjo to ruffle feathers. Dozens of people have quoted his post and he hasn't responded to any of them. He knows what he is doing." With Shinobi having knowledge that Ridley, a character that was highly argued in the Smash Bros. Fandom and was initially said was likely not going to make it into the game by Sakurai himself, the game's director, I would say that Shinobi has friends in high places, especially when it comes to Nintendo. So in him teasing that Banjo is possibly in Smash, it has gotten many people excited. Okay, so how far along are we? Oh, only about halfway? There's more? Alright, let's keep going. Now some people think that all this hype is simply for Banjo coming to Smash Brothers and that's it. And honestly, I highly doubt that. Want to know why? When Ridley was announced, was there Ridley plushes made en masse? When Joker was announced, was there controller holders made by third-party companies? How many characters have been given merch by a third-party company because of their strictly inclusion in Smash? I don't think any have. But while all this is good news, we need to hit pause and rewind to an article that is, well, a bit depressing. A lead over at Rare sat down for an interview a few years ago with a GameStop employee to talk about Sea of Thieves. The interviewer had brought up other projects and the fact that Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy was a huge success, and if a similar type of project would happen for Banjo Kazooie, to which he responded with, quote, "I don't think it's okay to just go make the same game that people loved before, but with up-to-date graphics, audio, and all those things. Just making them again with whatever technology is available today. That's not Rare," Duncan said. "I think what Rare is doing the kind of games that only Rare would go do. Like no one else would go make Sea of Thieves in the way we're making Sea of Thieves. And I think unless you've got an absolute killer, amazing idea for how you would bring maybe an existing IP or maybe one of those franchises and do something new with it from a gameplay paradigm or scenario or something that could actually be genuinely different and innovative, I don't think you can just redo them. I think that would be the worst thing for Rare to do, honestly," he added. "If I went and said to Rare, hey, go remake all the stuff that was kind of successful at the time, but make it up to date, I don't think it would be good, and I don't think it would be relevant, and I don't think people would really want it. I think they might think they do, but I don't think they would." Ouch. That's a pretty hard hit to this theory, isn't it? But maybe Rare has had a change of heart? Maybe they no longer feel that way about Banjo. Well, we will revisit this closer to the end of the video because something else has happened. Back in October of 2018, this was a year or two after the interview where they shot down the idea of a Banjo remaster, Paul Machesik, a developer at Rare, had something in his bio that caught a few people's attention. In the list of projects he had worked on, at the bottom was a very, very, very interesting comment. It says Banjo Threeie. Rare even responded to Paul and his bio, and he responded to the friendly chastising saying, quote, "You know, it took weeks for anyone to notice. I've lost track of all the Easter eggs I've left over the years." He took it out of his bio after this comment. So maybe Rare is sticking to their guns. Maybe this is not a remaster, but they never said anything about not doing a sequel though. But my question is, if this is a Banjo Threeie, then what about the people who never had the chance to play the original Banjo games? Well, one could point to the Rare replay and say, hey, they could grab that and they get to play Banjo. That's great and all, but most Banjo fans are over on the Nintendo brand of consoles, as the originals were on the Nintendo 64. What about them? The retro replay is exclusive to Xbox. But two things dawned on me. First off, I recently was watching my wife play Banjo Kazooie on the Xbox as it's one of her favorite games of all time. As I sipped my coffee and as she screamed at miscellaneous creatures, I realized, man, these graphics still look great to this day and have so much charm. To be honest, does this game really need a graphics upgrade? I mean, I would take it 100% if they were going to do it, but if they didn't, is it really the end of the world? We still have accessibility to these games. And secondly, if Banjo is allegedly coming to Smash Bros., there's gotta be a game to come with this duo in it. They are not going to bring Banjo-Kazooie as a guest characters and have no game for them. I mean, yes, it would be amazing to have them in Smash, but it would be kind of a slap in the face if he was a guest character and that was it. There was no game to back it. Also, maybe this secret Banjo project should somehow be on the Switch? I mean, Sakurai has literally thrown out every single rule that the Smash Bros. Community has set out the window. But what if this was one of the first partnerships between Xbox and Nintendo? What if this new Banjo project is coming to the Nintendo Switch? Here's another question. How can fans with a Nintendo console have access to Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie? What if they want to play those games before this new one? Well, we know that Nintendo and Xbox have a great relationship together, so maybe Xbox will port the retro replay over to the Switch. Thus, both original games will be there for all Nintendo fans new and old, and also you won't have to remaster the games because they're already brought over, or remake, however you want to say it. If Xbox were to port the Retro Replay over to the Switch, then I personally think it makes the possibility of Banjo being a fighter in Smash Bros. Much more plausible. Not to mention, Cuphead, originally a Microsoft exclusive game, has come to Switch. So the idea of Microsoft porting over their property over to the Nintendo side of things is not as far-fetched as you might think. The last point I want to make is Xbox is going first in the E3 conferences and Nintendo is going last. By the time Nintendo would announce Banjo being in Super Smash Bros., Xbox would have allegedly already have announced the next Banjo project. So it all lines up beautifully. Okay, there was a lot of evidence here, but if we were to look at everything together, and as long as everything here is true, then I think it paints a semi-clear picture when it's all put together. Rare does not want to remaster Banjo, but might be making the official third installment, Banjo Threeie. Xbox and Nintendo's relationships may cause the Retro Replay to be ported over to the Switch, bringing along the original 2 games. After that, Banjo might show up as a guest character in Super Smash Bros., and maybe Banjo Threeie will also come to Nintendo Switch as well as the Xbox. If you're still here, I just want to say thank you for making it this far. A lot had to go into this video, and it's one of my longer ones. Now, of course, I might be wrong. This is just a theory of mine, but I feel strongly about it. If it's wrong, then, well, it's an egg in my face. Whether or not Banjo is at E3 this year or not, I still think with all this evidence here, it's enough proof to say that the Baron Bird combo is on their way back to modern consoles today. By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below, and be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.